welcome to this week's edition of the Bond Room Unlocked. This is a quick fire episode and two opposing fans will give their opinion on the controversial final film by Pierce Brosnan, Die Another Day. So let's start this episode by turning the key on my 26-year-old Bond collection and looking at this prop that is featured in the film Die Another Day, and it is 9mm bullet casing from James Bond's gun, and there it is, and it's all framed in this lovely design, and we've got Bond there. It is training session scene and also Bond at the Ice Palace, and it's a really eye-catching item, and it was bought for me, so I was lucky there, and it's one of the few film props that I actually have, but it takes pride of place here in the Bond Room.
Hello, I'm here to defend Die Another Day. I think people frown on it because of the admittedly terrible theme song by Madonna and her equally terrible cameo. The rather poor choice of the CGI for the paragliding scene in Iceland. It is bad. Doesn't ruin the film for me like it does a lot of other people, but it is bad. A lot of people have problems with the invisible Aston. Again, doesn't bother me. No more ridiculous than a Bondler or a Lotus that goes underwater. I think they're the main issues. Also, you could also say the hyper stylized editing, especially in the Iceland scenes.
Hi, my name's Craig Haywood, and I'm going to say everything that's bad about Die Another Day. Poor CGI, terrible opening song by Madonna, an even worse cameo appearance by Madonna, a poor leading lady, Halle Berry. Your mama shouldn't have let you anywhere near the Bond franchise. A car crash of a second half of a film. Starts off well, but it just descends into an utter car crash from Iceland onwards. It really doesn't have anything going for it.
Strong, determined words there from Craig, the Licence to Kill fan. And I must admit, I do agree that this is a film of two halves. I mean, you have a great pre-title sequence where we see Bond undercover intercepting a weapons deal. And then for the first time we see Bond being tortured. And it's interesting that this is shown through the running of the theme song. Now, does this add to the effect, or is it simply there to avoid filming a lengthy torture scene? Now, director Lee Tamahori explains that he wanted to pursue the story through the titles rather than stopping dead and having a flashy sequence. And of course, I don't mind the invisible car. In fact, the unveiling of the car in this film is one of my favourite scenes. It's all about Bond's face.
Maybe you've been down here too long.
The ultimate in British engineering.
You must be joking.
As I learned from my predecessor, Bond, I never joke about my work. Aston Martin call it the Vanquish, we call it the Vanish.
Oh, very good.
It has everything you need from a Bond film. Beautiful women, beautiful cars, great action, great one-liners. It is everything you need in a Bond film. A slightly unhinged bad guy who's chewing the scenery. What's not to love?
What do I like about Die Another Day? I think Pierce Brosnan tries to hold it together for what was his final Bond appearance, and it's a pity that he went out on such a downer of a film. Rosamund Pike gives a good performance, but other than that, it really is the weakest instalment in the Bond franchise.
Now, it's interesting how Craig mentions Pierce trying to hold the film together. Now, bear in mind, Pierce wanted a whole different look to this film. Something a lot darker and a lot grittier, more like the style of Daniel Craig in Casino Royale. But unfortunately he didn't get the final say, and what we do get is a Bond romp filled with nostalgia and Easter eggs along the way.
So, this is where they keep the old relics in, eh?
I'll have you know, this is where our most cutting-edge technology is developed.
Point taking.
Must you touch everything?
Does this still work?
Now look,
So where is this cutting-edge stuff?
I'm trying to get to it.
Personally, I rate it between 10 and 13th on my Bond list. Yeah, it's not perfect. No real Bond film is, apart from Skyfall. And it, as I've said, has everything I need a Bond film to be.
Where do I rank Die Another Day? Well, there's 24. It will have to come in 24th. It really is the weakest of the Bond franchise. In fact, the best moment of the film is when the end credits start rolling. Thankfully, we get to live another day.
Now, if I am honest, and it pains me to say this as I'm a real Brosnan advocate, but this film ranks fairly low with me. But where does it sit with you? I'd love to know. Now, if you have enjoyed this episode, then please give it an MI6 stamp of approval and click on the notifications below, because remember, the purpose of this channel is to take the items in this Bond room and relate them to the films that we know and love. And if you like to do that, then please subscribe so you don't miss any further missions. You can find me on Facebook and on Instagram, and also catch me co-hosting with Tom Pizzato and Dan Silvestri at spymovienavigator.com, so check that out too. Now, I'd like to thank Agent Craig and Agent Neil for their valued input and making their point with Die Another Day. And I'd also like to thank you, whatever your thoughts are on this film, for joining me at the Bond Room Unlocked.